Gruesome Magazine.
Hello once again, I'm Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. This week, we are doing Kindred, which is coming out from IFC. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to give our first impressions of the movie. We're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But first, let me introduce the crew, starting off with the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff Mohr, the cool, the kooky.
Oh, no. What is that? What is that?
I'm here.
Why?
Is that a voice? Is that a voice?
That was me thinking. What was my line going to be today? I guess I'm glad to be here.
You're glad to be here.
Well, like 2 days ago it was 70, and now it's like 30.
Oh,
So-
I wish it was 30 here.
Wait till Saturday.
It's freaking 72 right now.
Yeah.
Oof, it's hot.
It won't be Saturday. Saturday is supposed to cool down for the East Coast. But Jeff's over in Iowa.
Center of the. I'm not going there.
No.
Hey, everybody, be safe. Just be safe. Just be safe. Everybody, be safe.
Yes,
Because shit's getting out of control.
it is.
Ooh.
It is. All right. Also joining us on that lovely note is Crystal Cleveland, Living Dead Girl. How you doing? And welcome to the show.
I was just about to go make a quiche.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh man, you want some tea? Want some tea? Oh,
I'll take that too. I like tea.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if anybody will listen to this actually knows what in the hell we're talking about.
Only if they see the movie.
And I hope you do.
Or
I just
do you?
dropped everything.
Do you?
Just got a ghost coming. Look at the lights came on and everything. Look at that. Oh, no,
Oh wait,
it's
that's like it's
refocused. All
we're
right.
having a weird night, guys.
It is.
Like,
It is.
spooky.
It's strange. It's strange.
The
All right,
drop
we're talking-
leaf on my table dropped.
Oh no. And everything just kinda-
Yikes! I'm glad your computer
Kinda like
wasn't on
that.
it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah,
I did that with my mind.
with your
All
what?
right.
With his mind.
Exactly. All right. We're going to talk about the Kindred. Let's take a look at the Kindred card here. It's coming from IFC. It's available November 6th, 2020. It's from director Joe Marcantonio. I like that. Marcantonio. I like that even better. Written by Joe Marcantonio and Jason McColgan. The cast includes Chloe. Why do I do this myself? Chloe Pirrie?
Pirrie? Maybe?
Pirrie?
Pirrie? We're
I-
really bad at this.
you know,
Yay! We make a great duo.
I know. I was like, you're trying to get Fiona Shaw. Can get that one in Jack Lowden. Synopsis is plagued by mysterious hallucinations. A pregnant woman suspects that the family of her deceased boyfriend has intentions, maybe bad intentions, for her unborn child.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is this is a film.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to show now because what we're getting ready to get into is our first impressions, and I'm going to let that happen. And up first is the one and only
Jeff Mohr.
Mohr.
Yay! So
Yeah.
this had a really kind of creepy trailer, if I remember right, and thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I love the cast.
Yeah.
I am a big Fiona Shaw fan.
Yes.
I don't know. She's been in lots of stuff, but most recently on Killing Eve on BBC. She's excellent in that. But she's been in lots of things. And so has. Go ahead.
I was going to say, most people remember her from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yes. Lots of Harry Potter films. Anyway, she's really good, and she is fun to watch in this. She was in Enola Holmes too. Channel Zero. Yeah.
That's right. She was the teacher, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
the school mom or mom or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, that didn't get to do much teaching, but anyway, she was good. And then Jack Lowden, who plays Thomas, he was in Caliber, which we did a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
And Dunkirk is something a lot of people may have seen. And then Edward Holcroft, who plays Ben, is in the Kingsman. Those two films. And then the guy that plays the doctor, Anton Lesser, is like 120 some credits.
In everything.
Yeah, you'd recognize him.
Wasn't he in
he
Mad
does
Men?
It. Could well have been. I not something I saw, but yeah, lots of stuff. Very good. So fun cast, and I shouldn't. What happened to?
Yes, this is intriguing. What happened to? You've got my attention.
I'm having a block. Oh, Charlotte Tamara Lawrence. She does pretty good too, but it's a little bit like we just had another film like this where I felt like it's way longer than it needs to be, and it's very confusing. There's lots of scenes where you don't know what's going on with Charlotte. She's really kind of the lead, and she's gets, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but she keeps. It seems like she keeps getting more and more confused, and people keep telling her she's ill, and you can't really tell. It's one of those ones. So, is she the unreliable narrator, or is everybody else right? And what the hell is going on? And there's scenes where like a couple days pass, where she's just like in bed, or she does something, and something key happens, and the next time we see her, she's in bed. And it just, I found that to be a little bit disjointed and frustrating. It didn't help me keep track of the story. Like, what's happening during all those times, and what are these other people doing? I guess we find out some of it, but anyway, I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, because I think time had a real problem in this movie, because we basically are with her for her entire pregnancy, but I don't see the seasons ever change. I don't get, well, I guess one time she's kind of cold, she's wrapped up, but you never really, it just,
well, she was already 20 weeks pretty much.
Remember? Yeah, but
like when she gets her first ultrasound, which means, there's,
but the one when she finds out she's probably pregnant, they say it's like 6 weeks. I think she's thinking maybe 6-8 weeks.
They jump in time. They don't really share the time change.
Well, the doctor, the doctor's like trying to care for her, won't let her go to the hospital. That's why she hasn't had a ultrasound for so long. So it just long periods of time pass, and you're going, really? You didn't think of that again till now? So it just kind of, I didn't get it.
Yep, I'm with you. So, Crystal, why don't we go ahead and get your first? We're still in our initial impressions, so give us your first impressions of this movie, Kindred.
So, it's slow.
I
actually, though, think it was kind of a good movie, but it doesn't break any new ground. It's not particularly intense. It's not particularly out there or off the wall or crazy. I think that Jeff is onto something with her mental health. They do discuss her mother's mental health because of her pregnancy, actually. And I think that has something to do and plays into this situation somewhat. It doesn't make the movie any better, though.
Yeah, but the family's just so wacky. It just
and I think that's the point. They're trying to lead you to believe that it's the family, but I think that there is a very unreliable narrator here, and I think that really from all indications and real actions, it seems like they all wanted the best for her and her baby. In the end and in the long run, it seems like they did.
Did they though?
That's the thing. I do. I feel like
really sure.
I feel well.
Maybe that's the point.
I mean, they could have
figured it out, right?
Yeah, I feel like they did. I mean, I think that at any point especially after the baby was born, that things could have been handled or taken care of. Just saying, like, if it was all about just the baby. Regardless, it's so slow, and it's kind of boring, and there's no real ramping up. Even when there are times where, okay, so I think they're trying to make this like a misery situation where they're holding her, and honestly, I didn't really feel like she was being held captive, and I guess that's why I'm siding with everyone else, because I'm like, I feel like they really are trying to just protect her and keep her safe. I feel like she's maybe bad for herself in a way. We don't know, but knowing her mother's condition, it's possible that she could have the same thing, that psychosis thing that happened.
Perinatal or something.
Perinatals, yeah. So, I mean, that could happen, unfortunately, I guess, the hormones and stuff during pregnancy, but it was slow. I didn't feel the intensity. I didn't even really particularly like the characters all that much. Like, none of them. I mean, they all did a great job in their characters, but it just meh.
I'm there with you. I'm meh as well. It very much is an unreliable narrator. You've got this woman. She's stuck in this house in some fashion, whether it's against her will or she just doesn't realize what's happening, because the further this movie gets into it, the more that comes into question. And that can be an interesting technique, right? That can be really engaging and drawing in, because if you start to like this person and then you start to, reality starts to kind of shift on you, you kind of you're like, can make it through, you can do this, you can get out of this, everything's fine. I never felt that. I never got engaged with our character to feel that. She wasn't presented in a way for us to like her at all from the very beginning. And I feel like we're supposed to. And I didn't. So, and then the mother of I guess the grandmother, but not her mother, but the mother of her boyfriend, is not a person you care to watch. She's not like good evil. I mean, she's important for the story and she serves the story, but you're not going to get behind her, and you're not going to get behind the brother Thomas, because he's just weird and a little icky, a little on the icky side.
He's despy. He's just a little too despy. He's hot, but he's despy, and it's like, ooh.
It's a little awkward. But the more you get into the story and the more other people don't do what you expect them to do, if it was her, if it wasn't her having this mental thing, it starts to become kind of less and less interesting, which was, and there's just a variety of people that they come up against, from a friend to a nurse to other, and every one of them doesn't do what you would expect if in her situation, the way we're believing. So, I'm repeating myself, and I feel like the film did too.
Yeah. It was kind of the same. Yeah. Kind of recycled.
Yeah. Now there are some things. So I didn't like this movie. I'll just put it there. But there are some things that are interesting, I thought, and I want to get your guys' impression. I noticed, but I wasn't sure if it was like that at the beginning, and I didn't bother to rewind. How outdated is that? Didn't to skip back and see if it was true. But it felt like her room in the house started to degrade as the story went on.
Well, I thought they put her in the nursery.
They put her in a different room.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because I just saw that she was in a bed, and then it was like, okay, well, the wall's not the same. And then,
it was the nursery.
Then you had the guy come in and he was like, saying he wanted something outside, but we never really got a resolution to that. And there was all these misleading things going on. And it just felt like the house was becoming, every time we saw the house in a new scene, it was more and more in disrepair. But maybe I was looking too hard.
Maybe it was a deterioration of her mind.
Yeah, the house was in bad shape from the beginning.
Was it? Because
they're sitting. They have him sitting in a room that looks like it's leaning towards being a little opulent English manor, but yet if you look up in the corners, like the corners are all discolored, and there was stains at different places, like places where it looked like maybe they scraped the wallpaper or was painted on. It was not in the best shape.
Yeah, so I guess I just started noticing that more and more as the film went on, and I didn't really notice it first. So I was curious about that and trying to figure out if that meant something because I was desperate to find something interesting. Another thing, I don't know. I'm going to let you guys bring something up. I'll come back around to that.
What were you going to say?
I don't know.
You were saying another thing.
I know I was going to.
Well, over time I've changed my outlook because I think we're shown the events from the point of view of Charlotte, right? So when she's like blacked out and remembers something, we don't know anything that happened in between. And when I go back and look at it now, it's making me look at it a little differently.
Like how?
Well, I don't want to give the whole thing away, but maybe she's
not right.
Although they really were out to do the death for her. So
I think
they've been dealing with her all this time, they would be getting short-tempered and frustrated. And just kind of gradually all these restrictions happened to her. And then the other thing is everybody in the town. I mean, how would they have
it? I know her friend. Okay, this is the turning point for me was her friend. The fact of what her friend did, I was like, oh, something's not right here.
Yeah. So that actually kind of
that solidified it. But that's what I'm saying because it is absolutely the unreliable narrator, but from a perspective of where I think it was. I think it was creative in that way because
it's more of the story of somebody going and somebody's. Yeah.
But at the same time, we see the ending alludes to something else.
No, it doesn't though.
The very ending did. No, that was like
no.
Like, what are you two doing?
She's fine. Yeah. Oh, because they love the baby. Because they love the baby. The mom obviously cared about the baby, and her lineage was.
That's her grandson and their son.
There's nothing creepy about that.
Yeah, but they were creepy. You guys you can get like a slight.
No,
I was getting what I was going to earlier, alluding to.
Is that they were lovers?
No, but that's gross. Is that there was a slight Rosemary's Baby vibe to all this?
Oh, see, I didn't see it at all. No.
I just felt like I don't know.
Look, that's what I'm saying, Doc. Why would she keep her alive then? That's not what the case was. She clearly
she wanted the baby.
All she had to do was take the baby and kill her.
I mean, it could have been there, but there was no evidence of that whatsoever.
It wasn't there. It wasn't really that. It's that poor girl went cuckoo loco. And probably the death of her boyfriend even pushed it further. And then she already thought that they were trying to keep her boyfriend and her there, which they were, which her mom wanted that. But I don't think her mom would have, or his mom would have forced that until they started seeing this descent of her. I think it was really obvious. And I don't think I know her friend wouldn't have betrayed her if she didn't think that she was losing it. I think she was just losing it. It was sad. I mean, look at how she kept putting herself in danger. Mm-hmm. I think it was really unhealthy. The driving like that and then the birds. You really think those birds went and attacked the window like that? That doesn't even make any sense.
Small spoilers.
But no, that's not really a spoiler. Not really. It's just it doesn't make any sense. She had this obsession with these freaking birds that was in her own head.
It depended on the shot because when they cut between shots back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. It was obvious. She wasn't right.
No, she wasn't right. But I don't think they were right either. So.
Well, you want to protect the baby.
Thomas was definitely a lurker. I mean, it didn't matter what happened. That guy popped up around the corner, out of a doorway every time. Oh, I'll get lunch. Oh, can I get you something to drink? Oh,
I got some tea.
Are you cold enough? It's like he was almost like what you sort of imagine a butler or the head person of the, servant of the house would just always be standing by waiting to see what they could do to help.
And I think that's kind of what he was, wasn't it? And that's why she said to him, she's like, she doesn't treat you like a son, because he did seem like a butler.
Did I because I got the impression at one point that he might have been a stepson, not a son.
Of course he wasn't her son. He's not her son.
Okay.
He's not her son. He was her son. She married his dad.
Yeah, he was her stepson.
That's why her boyfriend
He's not
said,
my brother.
He's not my brother. Yeah, we're not even related. We're not even biological, or we don't have any. Yeah, we don't even share a parent or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, he's not. So.
Yeah, so I mean, but because there's this weird story he tells that.
But they have such a bond. That's not weird to me either. Wow, Doc, you think very black and white. So fascinating. But your brain works very interesting, because I totally get the relationship between her and him, because they share this bond. They lived with an abusive man, and guess what? When she came into the picture, she was his savior, because his dad was abusing him. Until she came into the picture, and he said very specifically that he stopped beating him and started beating her. So she was, in his mind, of course he kind of holds her as a mother figure, someone who kind of saved him. And then in the end, he saved her. And they'll forever be bonded.
Yeah, took him out into the woods somewhere.
Yeah. Does that make sense, though? Like, I feel like the relationships are pretty, it's pretty spelled out. It's pretty spelled out. This, as much as I didn't like the movie because it was boring, I feel like they did a pretty good job of explaining the story. But maybe not. Maybe I just, maybe not.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still hanging out with us, 1, thank you so much. 2, hit the subscribe button down below. It'll do a lot to help others find us. And we're trying to reach 1,000. It'll help. Thank you. And if you want to hit the like button, that'd be awesome. If you want to hit this like button, I understand. If you want to hit the bell, you get reminded later. And we would love to hear comments. Did you watch this film and like it? Did we totally miss it? I have a feeling that this also has, translation issues, because this is a UK film, right? Isn't it? Or am I making that up? Am I making that up?
No, but what kind of translation issues are we?
Well, it wasn't language.
Cultural.
Cultural, yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I guess.
It's chips instead of French fries. That's what it is. All right. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just padding. All right, let's do this. Let's wrap it up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. Jeff, you're up first, not me. Go for it.
Well, it's good that I get to go first, because I get to pick my favorite scene, and I'm bumping this a little bit as we're talking, because
really,
just a little bit. It's
you're starting to figure it out, aren't you? It's like
I think so. I mean, I originally it was frustrating, and now I'm starting to think, they set it up for me to root for one person, and by the end, now I'm thinking, no, maybe I was rooting for the wrong person, So I think that's kind of well done. I think, I guess, and again, I don't want to tell people how to make movies. I just wish there would have been a little more emphasis on the time that's gone by. Would have helped. I don't know that you want to put a month later, that kind of stuff, but some sort of indication in the conversation, just besides, I don't know. Maybe I was just being dense. Her stomach was getting bigger, but it just was confusing.
They only made references like, it's getting cold, you need a jacket, but that's not necessary. That's very subtle. It's a little too subtle.
So I am going to give this I'm going to give this a 2.5. Because I think there's some good things about that. Again, Fiona Shaw. I love Fiona Shaw. And she is excellent. And you know what? I just picked a new scene. My favorite scene actually was when they're at the hospital.
Oh, no. You're taking my scene, I bet.
And mother,
yes!
probably. The mother says.
But does the mother say this?
Well, who knows? But the mother
Oh,
says
that's interesting.
in the scene that we see, it's all your fault. And she just dumps her on her ass.
Yep, that was mine. Damn. Such a good scene.
It is. It is. All right.
And you wanted her to do that, which is
You
really
did.
bad.
You did. Because she was
Push the old lady with the broken hip down. Yeah.
Yeah, who just lost her son. All right, Crystal Cleveland, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene? Kindred.
So that was my favorite scene. But that's okay. But I'll just say very clearly, like right after that, the mom acts like it's no big deal, which is fascinating too, because I think that's when they really realize there's something amiss, as they say, with the poor girl. Anyway, I'm gonna give it also a 2.5. I had thought about giving it a 2.75. Yep, I know, Doc. I think there's a lot going on. I just thought I think it's a well-made movie and well thought out, and the story is well thought out. I just think it's a little slow and boring. That's all. Just no real spookiness to it, and I like spooky. And my favorite scene, I guess I'm gonna have to say when she gets dropped back off where she was, because to me that I had already thought what I was thinking, going through with this whole thing, and then at that moment is when I solidified my understanding of what was happening. It just made a lot of sense to me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Her reaction was really strong too.
Oh yeah, and I like how they didn't have any noise. They took out their voices and stuff. I think it made it. I don't think we needed it.
Right.
I think it was. Yeah, I think there's a lot to like about this movie. I think maybe. So I think people will enjoy it. I think a lot of people will hate it though, and they won't understand it, and they'll think it's silly, and I don't get it. But for some people, I think they'll like it.
Well,
I'll tell you what. One thing I like, not to butt in, Doc, but is that Charlotte is a black woman. Everybody else in this film is white, and at no point is there ever any indication that there's any friction because of her race.
I'm so glad about that. I'm so glad it's not even mentioned. Yeah, they didn't even address it. Yeah. You don't even really think about it, which is wonderful. Finally, I think that's a lovely thing.
I do too. I agree with that. That's the one thing I agree with. I just didn't care for our lead. She just her situation didn't gravitate toward me. I didn't feel for her. I didn't like her because I thought she was kind of off in the first place. So I didn't, and then I didn't. The family was odd, and the whole situation was kind of dull and toothless. I didn't like this movie. I didn't like it. I mean, is it shot well? I suppose so. It's not. There wasn't anything. I mean, it wasn't shot in a way that made me go, "Wow, look at that cinematography!" Or "Wow, that." I mean, but it's it's well done. It's not. Ooh, that's bad lighting. No, it's actually solid in that respect. There are elements I like. But the film overall is dull, boring, slow, and I wasn't interested. It didn't catch my attention, and that hurts. That hurts. If they don't grab you with what their story is trying to say and the characters, and you just can't. You're watching it to watch it, and that's what we do. We watch all these films to talk about them. So if I were watching this movie by choice, which it was a choice, I did actually want to see this. I thought it looked good, and I was interested in seeing it. But if it wasn't for having to review it, I'd have turned this off. I would not have watched this movie.
Wow.
That's
unfortunate.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it through it. It was a little bit of a chore for me to get through it. It caught my attention. I mean, it rose to my attention a couple times with usually involved cars or hospitals. There's a hospital thing that I could choose as my favorite scene, but I'm actually going to choose another one that I like a little better. The hospital scene is when she finally does get the sonogram, and she starts whispering to the nurse, and how that turns.
Oh yeah. Mm.
But that's not the scene I'm going to pick, so I just cheated.
You're taking more than one.
My
You
score.
can't do that.
My score is 1.5.
Oh,
And that I felt is generous. I am so sorry, people who made this film, but yes.
wow.
I'm going to say my favorite.
I might say I have a feeling Dave would be saying this is not a horror film.
Oh, that's probably true. Yeah.
I see it that it is.
I
mean, it's a psychological horror film.
It is.
Okay, so the one moment that I liked is our heroine, that with the lady we're following, who is the unreliable narrator, is desperate to escape. I mean, she's literally at this point she's locked in her room with a bolt door. Right, she can go out the window, but she's on the second floor. But yeah, so she's in there. She can't get out. And she gets in a situation where the mom or the boyfriend's mom is in there with her, and she has something on her. Well, it's like a kitchen knife, so we'll just put that there. And she goes, "Come here closer. I want to tell you something. Come here closer. I want to tell you something." "What do you want to tell me?" she says. And she goes, "Nope, I don't care." I don't know. She walks out the door, and she just screams in desperation. And I thought that scene, was in sync with like her entire situation, right from the get-go, that nothing ever went her way, and that didn't go her way either. And I mean, she did figure something out, and that was interesting too. But I just like that wasn't the reaction I was expecting in it, and I really enjoyed it. So other than that, this movie's poop.
It's not poop.
It's not poop.
No,
it's not
poop.
It's not poop. That's me being overzealous.
Doc is being a poopy head.
I am.
Doc's in the dregs.
I am. I'm having a rough week. I feel the same way. All right, that's our review for Kindred. It's out now from IFC. I'm don't listen to me. Listen to them. Go check it out. And tell me, just in the comments below, tell me how wrong I am. I want to know, because I feel like I am, but it's a thing. It's a thing.
It's just not your movie. I get it. It's definitely specialized. It's not for everyone. It's an IFC. It's perfect for IFC.
It is. And we've loved a lot of IFC films. I mean, and I'm looking forward to the next one, whenever that is. I don't care.
Yes. Always keep an eye out on them.
Yeah, but everybody's got a batting average, right? All right, let's get out of here before I put my foot squarely in my mouth. All right, Crystal and Jeff, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Did you hear that?
Don't
wrong for that.
Don't you do that?
Oh God! Now he's gonna have to set something up. You need a meeting.
You were supposed to cut right then, Doc.
I know. I know.
That would have been funny.
I know. You got ahead of schedule because I said let's say goodnight. Then you're supposed to do it. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Look behind Jeff because it's really freaky. Bye.
Bye. Wow.